It's a short and sweet video this time around, but I think it's going to have a lot of power, and I think it will help you unlock different possibilities when it comes to inking and illustration. So making a pattern in perspective can be very challenging, and you can certainly do this in a traditional manner, but I want to share with you some techniques that I use to speed up that process. So let's go ahead and get started with a very simple example. We're going to use the rectangular shape tool here. I'll make a brand new layer so I can start working. And this particular rectangle here has a fill and it does not have a stroke. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this as the shape that we're going to fill the pattern in. So where do we get the pattern from? Well, we'll talk about that here momentarily, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to command click or control click on a Windows machine on the thumbnail for the layer. When you command click on a thumbnail, you will select it. And what we're doing here is we're selecting this rectangular region. Then what you want to do is you want to go to Window and choose Materials. And you will see a bunch of different materials that are available for you. Now, for this effect to work really well, we want to pick something that has some texture to it, right? To have that, like that has some grain or some grit. I'm going to just pick this 3D hexagonal texture here. So it places that texture into that enclosed region. We're also given these parametric properties panel. This will show up as soon as you apply that texture. So I can choose the quality. I'm going to keep that as medium for what I'm using it for. And then I will choose under presets, I will choose small ceramic tiles. Depending upon how fast your computer is, that might take a long period of time or a short period of time. It is basically rendering this on the fly, and we can control the amount of gap. You can see how that is also being affected. So I'm not going to go through all of these parameters, but you do have some properties here that you can modify. You can choose how much of the pattern you want, how much you want to vary it, how much you want to bevel it, etc. So let's just keep this as is. So what we're going to do now is look at the layers panel. The layers panel, we actually have this particular texture. And what we can do now is we can shift select those items, and if we then hit Command E, we merge them together into one. Now this is important because we're going to be making some modifications to this particular pattern. And my foreground color is black, my background color is white. We're going to use those default values just so you can see how this works. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Filter. I'm going to go to Filter Gallery. I'm going to choose Stamp. And you can see, if I zoom out, that we're getting this it's basically trimming this down to just black and white values. And I can adjust the light and dark balance. If I wanted to give a little bit more of that grain, I can bring that in. I can choose how smooth or how coarse. I think for this to look good, I want this to be somewhat coarse. And I'm going to click OK. And we can see our pattern is in place. Now what I can do is I can hit the transform tool, I can right click and I can choose perspective, and let's just go ahead and make this into some type of a wall. And so I've got this object as follows. On a new layer, what I'll do is I'll just create an outline, create a trapezoidal shape, holding down the shift key to make straight vertical lines. I can use the magic wand tool and fill this in. Now this looks like, it's got a repeating texture for sure, but it looks, very much like a computerized texture. So what we can do is on the layer that contains the pattern, we can use our white brush and we can just kind of break some of these things up, make it look a little bit less, less so computery. Maybe we can give it a little bit of variety too by adding some textures. We're just breaking this up and it has a little bit more interesting character to it, right? And on the top of the wall here, if I go back to my new layer on the top, I can basically freehand this top edge here and then freehand the bottom. I'll rotate the canvas by hitting the R key. And now I've got some kind of a wall shape. So I'm using the simplest case here where I've got some kind of a rectangular structure, but you have other shapes that you can also use. There's an ellipse, triangle, polygonal tool, custom shape tool. So you can apply that along with these textures. Now the only question that you might run into here is, well, I've got a lot of white here and I really want this to be empty. I don't want to be able to see the white. I want this to be a transparent image where I only see black outlines and not the white. So what I can do here is I can just simply use the magic wand tool, select a region within the wall, and I will then go up to select and choose similar. And it's going to select basically all of the white on this canvas, and I can hit Command X, and you can see that I have a transparent wall that I can then fill in with whatever color I want. And the important thing with this technique is you want to make this look more organic and more natural. I think the tendency that some folks might think about is like, okay, well, I can just apply this super fast and I'm done. But think about the story that you're trying to tell, think about the narrative that you're trying to create, and come up with something that's going to be more interesting. For example, maybe this is actually some type of a wall. So I'll make a selection here. I'll hit Command X. Use a slightly wobbly line. Break this down. And I can then fill this in with black if I want. And now I have something that looks like a stone wall. I can come back in with the lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, make some small cuts, and I can add some stippling effects to give this more of a sense of a wall that might be made out of stone. So pretty fast and pretty powerful techniques that you can use. In fact, some of the shapes that I've made earlier, if I just move this one off to the side, I just use different patterns. So let me just shrink this guy down. And you can see the potential with this particular technique. So if you found some value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. Welcome to all the new subscribers to the channel. If you want me to talk about something specifically or share a technique, I've tried to post my art on my post section for this YouTube channel as a way to share what I'm working on, but also to invite inquiry. If you're looking at what I'm doing and you have questions, feel free to go ahead and ask those questions and I'll do my best to try to help you out, okay? Thanks so much for watching and I will catch you in the next video. See ya.